Or I, I love it when I clean and tidy up and I make a bigger mess when I'm cleaning and tidying than there was before. It's so annoying. Um, but the world appears to be ever more complicated, you know, just ever. And uh, I think that I just, I, it's just a theory. I can't prove it. I think that everybody gets what they want, but it's a bit weird because people don't actually really understand what it is that they want. They think they, you think you know. Like adults talking to kids, right? Oh, you think you know. But you um, you think you know what you want, but a lot of experience teaches us that when we get what we want, we suddenly, for some reason, seem not to want it anymore, or to view it differently, um, which is an underappreciation of what is perhaps important in society and in the world. Our values systems are a little bit upside down, I suppose. And how everyone goes into, I think everyone goes into ev- a relationship with a positive attitude towards it. But somehow, somewhere along the line, the positivity seems to vanish or disappear, or people stop trying, or the grass looks greener somewhere else. And it's an endless question about how do you find a successful relationship. Biggest problem coming from a family that has an unstable background, which is most people now, unfortunately. Um, where do you find good examples to develop relationships? Really hard. Really hard. If mom and dad don't get it together, then you know the mom and dad are gods, right? You know the representative of the god figures in human life. Um, Dad is the father figure and mom is the mother figure. Dad is the sun and mother is the earth, so to speak. And if they don't have things organized in their life, where do people look to for answers and for solutions and for good role models? Really hard. It's really hard. And and you have to look essentially outside of of family for ideas and for positive examples. And they are so hard to find. It's it's sad, really. I think about my own kids when they as they grow up and how a positive example can be set for them. And I'm not sure, you know. I'm not sure how to do that. How do you set the positive example? Um, be truthful, be honest, uh, be a father figure, be a friend. It's hard to know what exactly is right, but you have to make a decision about what is right because not making a decision means you don't do anything, and that paralyzes you. In inaction, no action is far worse than action most of the time. Yeah, so it's usually far better to act with things. Uh, but it's strange. Just talking about my own example of that. I think myself. Here's here's a negative confession. I think that having a lot of short relationships in the past was terrible, which was my experience. It was absolutely terrible. because it seems to create a pattern of negativity that uh, that is very hard to break. And this waiting to get older to find a partner is just stupid as well. Or thinking that things will be better between 30 to 40 than they were between 20 to 30, when in aggregate the possibility percentage of successful relationships goes down at that point in time, not up. And then failure seeks failure. Right, which is an okay, how do we solve that problem? There are solutions out there. Everybody's got to find their own way. But also the solutions are not where people think they are. They're always in other places. If we knew what it was, we would have it already. If we knew what the answer was, we would have the things that we think that we need. But do we ever get what we need? There's a question. And people forget to teach this to the younger generation. I don't know if I said this before. It's something I use with my other clients. It's I told my daughters, if you kiss all the boys, then your kiss has no value. So to try to help them understand the value within themselves as integral in their life's decisions. And this idea that everything is okay is extremely dangerous, which comes across as a kind of modern liberalism, which is the antithesis of, I would call, communist ideas. But if you're all the way on the right, it's probably not a good place to be. And if you're all the way on the left, it's probably not a good place to be. You might lean right or lean left. And talking about health, right? If you know the acidity and alkaline scale, yeah, that the body is the body and the foods and the environment around about us is either acid or alkaline, yeah. And for the body to be healthy, it has to exist in an alkaline environment. Now, if you measure the body's acidity, it is 7.3 on the pH scale of 0 to 14. It's not 7, it's 7.3. Because if you're 7, directly in the middle, you're sick, because your body's acidic. And so being directly in the middle is sometimes, in seeking that perfect point of balance, is sometimes not exactly where we want to be. Especially in terms of the type of foods that we eat. If we eat too much, which turns to acid in the body, then that will naturally not be good for us. And also we tend to get sick and then fill ourselves full of healthy foods, which is kind of backwards. Yeah. But then we all do that. We all do that. Most of us do that for the first 30 years of our life because we're all superhuman. Oh, I can do everything. And so we do everything and be everything and try to be everything, and then at some point realize, oh man, it might not be a good idea. So it's hard. And then what is it? What are the statistics for relationships in the digital world? Like, is it like more than half of people in the Western world find their partners through social application systems now? Which, in one sense, is really bizarre, because you're letting the digital social sphere make decisions about your future. But the crazy thing is that maybe it knows more than we know. Maybe this collective information is more powerful than us. Um, just like a company works, different people in the company do different jobs, and all of this information from all these different jobs is pulled together in order to make one whole system work and function. And maybe the social apps will function like that as well for some people. Some people find happiness, or they claim to find happiness. I don't know what that means. Mm. Anyway, also it's just that phrase about my father with his girlfriend. It's like nobody should have to deal with that, you know? Or my mother with her boyfriend, or something like that. Nobody should have to. No child should ever have to deal with that from their parents. But unfortunately, what do we know? Like it's almost like 60% of society is that way. Um, so it's not it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I said to my kids, don't you think it would be weird if Dad had a new partner? And they were like, well, Mom has a new partner. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't feel right to me, you know? Doesn't feel right. Doesn't doesn't it's like putting the wrong piece in the puzzle, you know? It's like taking a piece from another puzzle and putting it into this puzzle and trying to make it fit and trying to make it work.